Guys, you are at that beautiful part where you're about to do your very last seam around the entire blanket. So this is your last time sitting at the sewing machine. So make sure that you are hydrated, patient, and the kiddos are going to leave you alone, have them occupied or in bed or in a nap, whatever you want to do. But this is where we're at right here. And I have removed all of my pins from the inside of the blanket. Now what you're going to want to do is make sure that you have some pins on the outside, because you're going to want to keep all of these together, all that hard work that you did to make sure that they stayed together with the pins. You're going to want to keep those in there just around the outside of the blanket. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I do my seam around the entire thing. And I keep saying seam and stitch. And again, I am self-taught, so I probably have a whole bunch of words that I'm using wrong, but it's the best I can do for you. So, okay. I usually try to find a spot on my blanket that either has a pattern to start, that's where I'm going to begin, or it has a similar color to the thread. If you're using white, this is going to be really easy because there's always white somewhere on baby clothes, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, does it? But anyway, I've got this. This is one of the squares that is very similar to my blue thread. Here's a scrap, some scrap thread. I don't know if you can see this, but it's blue, and if you look there, it's gonna blend right in once I get it through the machine. So that's where I'm gonna start. And so far, what I have told you to do is to not bother doing a back stitch, because a back stitch locks your seam, your thread in place. It's the same thing as doing a knot, only it's easier. Here, let me get your angle good. How's that for you? All right, bring you over here. Okay, so I'm going to start, and it's just a 1/2 inch inseam all around the blanket. This is just about as easy as it gets. Okay, so I'm going to put my needle down. I've got my setting, my length on a 3. It's just the same way we've been doing it all along. I keep my tension around a 5, so nothing has changed. I'm just reminding you. All right, I'm going to hold my tails, and I'm going to go and do a few stitches. I'm going to do my reverse button, which is for my back stitch. On my machine, it's right here. Gonna push that down, and there's a couple back stitches. This locks that thread in place. It's not going anywhere. It's just the same as doing a knot. You're gonna go forward a couple stitches, sorry guys, and you're gonna go back a couple stitches, and that holds it in place. Same thing as a knot. Okay, and then we're just gonna zip this thing through here, and I'm gonna show you what I do when I get to those bumps. Do you remember when I was showing you how to do the squares? I would, lift the presser foot and I would go backwards. I don't do that here because I don't have this big wad of thread. I don't have, or not thread, I'm sorry, this big wad of material. I don't have a ball of material. So I just go right over those speed bumps. I call them speed bumps. I'm sure that's the wrong word, but that bundle of thread. And I'm just going to go all the way down. I'm going to speed it up a little bit so that I'm not taking up too much of your time, because I know you guys are probably ready to do this. And as I go, I just kind of reposition everything. I pull the blanket, not pull taut, but I just pull it behind the machine. This part of the blanket, I just keep pulling it, this part here, just to make sure in between stitches while I'm holding it under the needle, I will make sure that this is flat and straight. It just makes it easier. That's all that's for. And I'm going to go and do this till I get to a corner, because I'd like you to see how I do the corners. I don't ever stop. This is a continuous probably look this stuff up so I sound a little more intelligent. At this point, with the kids and everything, it just doesn't matter. All right. Now I'm going to show you where I stop. Okay. Here, let me take the phone out so you can really see, get a good look at where I'm at. Right here, my needle is still in the down position. And I have come to the end of this row or the end of the blanket. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up on the back, right back here. Can you see that? That's my presser foot. The presser foot is here. I'm going to lift this and I'm going to turn it so it's a 90-degree angle in there. And then I'm going to let my presser foot come down. Now, if you do this and you've got a whole bunch of thread, if you have like an inseam that's 1 inch or 3/4 of an inch and it bothers you, you need to lift it back up, come back around, and use your hand crank on the side of the machine to go further forward or further backward, because you want this to continue. You want this to be right around a 1/2 inch still. Okay? I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, watch this particular video a couple more times. Anytime anything in my videos don't make sense, please put a comment and I can do my best to help you. All right, and I'm just going to keep going. And I'm going to do this around the entire blanket. Okay? So that's it for that video. You're just going to do that stitch. Again, we're on, the length is a 3. It's a straight stitch, just like we've been doing the whole time. And my tension I set around a 5. And you just, when you get to those corners, when you get to the end of your blanket, you want to turn it 90 degrees and just continue on, okay? And when you get around to the other side, once you come up against your thread again, meaning if you started here, say, and you go all the way around your blanket and you're back to that beginning thread, you're going to want to do another back stitch to lock it in place, okay? All right, carry on, enjoy, have fun with this. I'll talk to you soon.